Hey everyone, it's Chantal Gerardy here, and I'm with my friends, my lady friends in business. And I thought it'd be a great opportunity for us today to talk about where we are, what we're doing, and how is the wonderful world of women in business. So we're here at Penrith in the Pullman Hotel at Penrith for the Australian Ladies in Business Awards. And I'm here with Zoe Van Mill from Flat Out Multi-Reel and Michelle Dory from
Lotus Massage.
Yeah, thanks for spelling that one out. And I'm from the Gold Coast. Zoe, you're from
Port Macquarie.
And Michelle is from
the Central Coast.
Awesome. So we're going to talk a little bit today about business, how it is. But let's start with what have you been nominated for the business awards that we're here for at the moment?
So this is the Alibi Business Awards for Ladies in Business. And my category that I've become a finalist in was product-based business. So that's quite exciting. I'm
awesome.
Really feeling, first time I've entered an award in a really long time. Over a decade.
Yeah.
Somebody pushed me out of my comfort zone and made me do it.
Were we on a cruise or something or somewhere? And I said, you need to do this.
You need to do this. And so, but she also helped me a little bit with, when I was feeling uncertain about my answers, and just gave me a couple pointers here and there, and just reminded me all these things that I'd forgotten that I'd done. And she's like, do you remember that you did this? And do you remember that I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I'll talk about it.
People forget how wonderful they are and how much they've actually achieved, right? So it's really, really awesome. But I suppose you should also start with, what is your product?
Okay, we're saying, or do we want to?
No,
okay, we're stuck with here right now. Hi,
stuck
everyone
with
again.
it.
So we're still here. So I'm the hose lady. So I like to say I'm into hose. Yeah, that's it. I make hoses and electrical leads and all the connections that you need for your caravan, and we make it in a beautiful stackable system on this product called a multi-reel. And I just make people's holidays better, basically. It's a great job.
Super. And of course I've got one for Frida, my camper van, because she needs to have an electrical cable that is safe and easy to use. So yeah, awesome. So Michelle, tell us a little bit about your business and also what you've been nominated for.
Okay, so I've been nominated for 3 categories, which I'm super excited about. So the Business Lady of the Year, Brick and Mortar Business of the Year, and Personal Services of the Year. So I'm so thrilled to be a finalist in not 1, but 3 different categories. So I'm super, super pumped. Really looking forward to tonight. And so my business is, I run a wellness clinic in Arimba. I am a holistic health and fitness practitioner. So I'm a naturopath, nutritionist, herbalist, massage therapist, and personal trainer. And so I really focus on embodying the whole holistic aspect of health, wellness, and holistic healing. So yeah, it's like a one-stop shop for everything that you need. You don't need to go to multiple different practitioners. You just need to come to the one place.
If you're on the Central Coast.
If you're on the Central Coast, yes. We do online stuff for, fitness coaching and the naturopathy and nutrition stuff, but mainly it's all face-to-face. But yeah, it's awesome and I love it, and I'm super grateful to have you push me out of my comfort zone and push me to do more awards this year too, so I'm super thrilled.
Okay, well let's just talk about this pushing thing first.
She's very pushy, but I'm very grateful for that.
So we are going to get back to the pushing thing, but I'm going to do a shameless self-plug first and just say that I've been also nominated as a finalist in online business marketing, community leader, and Australian lady in business. So enough about me, but let's go back to this pushing thing. So one of the things that I love to do is celebrate, when you do well in business, right? Celebrating when you have achievements in your business, showing gratitude, and also stepping outside of your comfort zone. And one of those things is iFly. And when I stayed here at the Pullman Hotel a year ago, I think it must have been about a year ago, and I came for my first award, which I won, which was the professional services industry. iFly was across the road. I went to watch these people and I went, oh, that's amazing. I want to do this. It's like, they are like, and I'm not great with heights, right?
But you are very good with adrenaline.
I am good with adrenaline, not great with heights. But I went, you know what, I'm going to do it. So after I won my award, I went and done it. And now I'm hooked, right? Everyone knows I love this iFly thing. I love flying. So I said to these ladies, I'm like, the one in Penrith is like triple the size of the other places. So we are there. It's across the road. We need to go fly. So I said, come on, let's do it. And of course they said, yes.
We said yes, we know what happens when we say no to
Yeah.
Chantal. But there was definitely that sense of, oh, that's not something I ever felt like I would want to do, and a fair bit of nervousness. But it was also like, no, you know what? It's a great way to sample it without, jumping out of a plane. And so sign up and then
Sign up and do it. Yeah.
Arrive today and go, okay, all right, we're definitely facing some nerves here.
I really didn't want to do it because I'd done it before and I hated it. I didn't hate it. Okay, I hated it. It was fun, but I was terrified. Even though I knew it was a controlled environment and I knew I was safe, just that feeling of falling and I guess not being in control, because I'm so used to being in control, that losing that control, I don't know if it was a flashback to a past life death, was falling to my death or something, but I really hated it and I swore I'd never do it again. And Chantal's like, nah, no way, you're doing it. You've got to face your fears. If you're scared of it, you've got to just run straight into it and just do it. So come on, come on, do it. And I'm so glad because I loved it. I had the best time. I had the biggest smile on my face. I had drool everywhere. It was probably really gross, but it was really, really good. And I'm so glad. And that feeling of falling where I felt scared that first time when we did the high fly, and I had that feeling come over me like I did that first time that I did it, but then I had Chantal's voice in the back of my head, and then I was like, no, this is fun, just like go and enjoy it, and it was great, and I loved it. So yeah, it was so good.
So personal achievement.
Yeah, I'm stoked. I can't wait to do it again.
So I think it's really important to note here that like scary stuff is difficult to do. Anything new and challenging is fearful and scary, and you don't feel like doing it, but the benefit of doing it is that every time you do something that pushes you outside of your comfort zone, the more and more you do that, the better you feel. So
and you expand your comfort zone too. You just
100%.
Expand your abilities of what you think you can try, what you think you can do.
Yeah, so we'll talk into something else because something interesting happened here as well. So Zoe said yes to this as well, but then actually when we went there, she said no. And it wasn't from a fear-led place. It was actually from another place. And I think this is important to talk about, Zoe, because like you're an adventurous person, you'll say yes to things, you'll step outside of your comfort zone, but you also have boundaries and you're also able to tap into your body and listen to your body. So I think it's important to share about that.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, so as I said, there were nerves there, but I am a yes girl. So somebody suggests something, I'll just say yes and then figure it out later. And here we got there and I was ready to go and I was looking at it going, oh yeah, I can do this. And then, knowing I was pushing myself, but also going, I love that challenge. I love approaching that and just, expanding. And then read all of the medical waiver things and found out that there was because I'm hypermobile, there was a high risk of injury. And even though my head was like, oh, I wonder if I could kind of, I could bend that a little bit there. And I think I could get past it. My head's saying this, my body, it told me that I was not doing that. My body overrode my head I didn't quite faint, but it just this whole emotion thing came over me that it was quite a surprise, and I was just like, you know what, I've got to trust my gut here. I've got to actually step back and say no to this. And so while I completely am all for pushing boundaries, you also have to listen to your gut. You have
100%.
to listen to that inner voice, and I possibly prevented what could have been a nasty injury today.
100%. You've got to weigh up things, right? Like you said, you've got a
trust
whole
your gut.
bunch of stuff that's happening at the moment and in business, and you can't afford to take a risk.
I could not afford to take that risk and end up with a spazzed up neck and shoulder for the next week or so, which is what usually happens when I injure myself. It's not a huge injury. I have had back surgery, and I did end up at one point unable to walk for 3 months. I was stuck in bed for three months with a 4-year-old single mum.
Oh no,
it was good fun.
Yeah, I bet. Good on you for getting through it.
Thank you. Yeah, I also had amazing support, so family and friends around.
Yeah.
It was just the whole level of new gratitude for humans and connection, and when you do become helpless, and I'll still well up teary about how overwhelmed with gratitude I was at that time. Anyhow, not about that. This is about this moment, which is not a major injury. It wouldn't have been a big injury, but it would have been enough to write off work.
And I'm the same. I've got. I talk to everyone online about my back stuff that I've got going on and that, and I still I did canyoning at the beginning of the year, jumped off waterfalls and do all these things. But the last time I went to the Philippines, I literally ran up 13 waterfalls, whereas a year ago I crawled because I was so nervous. And now I can stand on a balcony and look over the balcony, and I don't have that sense of fear anymore. So when shit happens in my business, it doesn't hit me so much.
So true, so true.
It just doesn't.
You just go, oh look, I've survived all this other stuff. I'll survive this too.
I've got a massive scarf on that one.
I think that's why we're in the awards right now, because when I wrote anyway about all the hardships and all the things that have happened over the last few years, I've just gone, oh wow, and then there's things that would hit that could crumble you, and you just go, you know what, I can step up, I can actually turn this into an opportunity and pivot.
I think that's one of the good things about the awards is when you're writing the submissions, it really forces you to sit back and reflect on the good things and reflect on the hard things. And I found that a really good exercise, because sometimes it's easy to forget what you've gone through to get to where you are. And so sitting down and reflecting on, everything I've gone through with having a brick and mortar business, like how difficult it is to have a physical business space with staff and with neighbouring businesses and with like the legal stuff with solicitors and leases and then rent increases and then like the cost of living, offering a service-based business. It's so easy to forget those hardships when you've gotten through them, and then you can sit back and you can reflect and you're like, oh wow, like I've done really well. And then and because I'm in 3 categories, the different questions were specific to those categories. So then it asked different specific questions about, how do you help people, in your personal services. And it really made me grateful for my clients and the impact I have on other people's lives. And sometimes I think I take that for granted because
you just go through,
do it.
Because it's not just it's a job, but it's much more than a job. But then having the awards is a good way to sit back and reflect on the impact your business has on other people's lives. And I love it.
Well, let's go into, because this is a good way to go into, what are some of the biggest, most challenging things that you've had to sort of overcome inside of your business? For me personally, there's a couple. I mean, I've had no financial support when it's just been me, right? And my business and doing everything. And every time I've taken a new step in my business, I've had to deal with my mindset. I've had to invest in myself and invest in my team and invest in software, which has all been scary stuff. And I've had to work on my mindset. So mindset has been an ongoing thing that I've had to do as I've continued to grow and scale. And also probably for me I've had to become a better leader, because as you grow and scale, you now have to get team and you've got to get staff. And if you don't want to hire, fire, rehire and all of that, you've actually got to become a better leader. So for me, those are probably some of mine. So Zoe, for you in your business, talk about some of the challenges that you've had, because yours is e-commerce. So
mine's it's e-commerce, but it's also retailers and products. So products is very different to service. I used to run a service-based agency. I ran a web agency for more than 10 years. So it's a completely different kettle of fish. There are some things that are a whole lot easier, and some things like when your supplier, who is the only company in the country that can make your product, turns around and says, I can't make it anymore.
Oh no.
And your whole branding is based on being Australian made. That's probably been my kicker.
Oh.
So that happened early last year. We discovered that the way they were making it, just kept having problems. So we've had a lot of issues with our hero product, and they changed the way they were making it and it didn't work anymore. And so there were just heaps of good ones, and then just a large number of unreliable hoses that you don't know until they're out.
You don't want an unreliable hose.
Nobody wants an unreliable hose. No unreliable hose, thank you very much. They all have a purpose,
You all want them to be reliable, do their job efficiently.
Effectively. No one wants it that efficient.
Okay, so Michelle, what would you say, what would your challenges be? Some of the biggest challenges that you've had as a business owner?
Do you mind if I just finish
Please,
one thing
I'd
about
love
that
you to
one
finish
before
it.
we
Go for
just because I just want to say that even though that was a heartbreaking moment, and then they turned around and said they couldn't fix it, and it actually forced me to pivot the entire way we operated, and by doing so, it's actually opened up a whole level of scalability that we couldn't do before, by having to go overseas and by having to find new suppliers, having my hand forced. So even though I do support Australian companies whenever I possibly can, this particular one was holding us back, and now we have the ability to scale in a way that we never did before, which means that we can bring the product to more people.
Yeah, thank you. That was a very important thing that Zoe's spoken about over there, because sometimes it's the challenges that are the greatest learning. So that's normally like when you have those challenges that
all the time.
They're actually piggybacking you to something greater and bigger and challenging you. So you get excited, you start to get excited. Now when something happens, and I say this to Michelle, I've said this to you a few times with the money mindset stuff as well. It's like every time like I start getting like, I feel like I'm getting triggered or I'm getting attacked or I'm being picked on about a particular thing, I start to celebrate and I go, oh, I'm just on the other side of like something else.
So I saw Jim Key. I met Jim Keys this week. He was the CEO of 7-Eleven and then Blockbuster. And he said one of his big messages was challenge equals opportunity. CEO.
Oh, I love that. Wow.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Challenge equals opportunity. Awesome.
Yeah.
So now I get excited. Get excited now when you see challenges. It's like, oh, there's something here I've got to learn.
Something new that's going to grow here.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Please.
I guess my biggest challenge has been mindset as well. And it's been really challenging running a service-based business, a brick and mortar business, but also as a single mum. So I've got not only the responsibility of the business, but full responsibility of my son and all the finances and responsibilities at home. So trying to juggle all those things and manage staff and keep clients coming in has been really, really challenging. And it has been easy to sort of, I guess, just want to give up at some points. And I guess that's where I nearly was when I first met Chantal. But then shifting that mindset really, really helps. And, you know, the whole cost of living crisis, one of the first things to go in people's budgets is things like massage, and that's a big chunk of my business. So trying to get enough business into, you know, for my staff member, not just for me, but for my staff member, to keep her employed and to pay for the rent at the clinic, to pay the rent at home. It's really, really hard to sort of juggle that. But then with the help of Chantal, I had a massive shift in my mindset, which really made me appreciate those challenges a lot more. And then when I got through those challenges, I started celebrating them, you know, instead of cringing when a bill comes in. Now I'm excited to be able to pay it, and I put that good energy into stamping it with that paid stamp, or, you know, celebrating when a new client books, or not getting too upset when a client cancels, because I'm grateful for the opportunity of someone else being able to book now. So definitely a shift in that mindset. I've seen a massive turnaround with a lot of different things with my business and my personal life as well. So definitely mindset is a big thing. It's not all woo-woo. Everyone thinks, you know, manifestation and mindset and meditation, it's all woo-woo, but it's for real. And that, you know, there's heaps of studies to back up the power of intention, the power of manifestation.
You've got to believe it's possible before you see the evidence, and then somehow the evidence just shows up.
And it's just kind of frustrating now, because now I get so triggered by people that aren't, I guess, in the same vibration or the same level as me. And it's really frustrating, because I think, why can't you see this?
Yeah, why get on board? Of course you can make that happen.
Yeah.
Just get it inside your head that it's possible.
Just negative people that just, their approach to everything is just negative.
It's outside themselves. They've put their locus of control on the other side. Whereas you really got to take it back and take responsibility for your actions and your anything that happens. You can take responsibility for that and change it. And I
love being able to shift that with some of my clients too, especially some of my fitness and naturopath clients that, you know, some of them have given up on their health or given up on their fitness journey. They've got no motivation. But being able to help them shift that mindset and see, you know, how far they've come, because sometimes it is hard to see how far you've come from where you started until someone points it out to you and you're like, oh, well, hang on, you were back here, like, and now you're here. So I love being able to help facilitate those shifts as well. It's really empowering for me to help empower other people.
Yeah, they certainly do have to believe, like you said. So let's just go into the team leadership and the responsibility side of it, because once you want to grow, right, you have to get team, you've got to get staff, and now you're responsible for other people, and you've got to invest in yourself and invest in them as a better leader. So let's just talk about some of your experiences with hiring, because I know you've got like an Australian major hire in your business, and then you've also got offshore hires as well. Michelle, you run primarily everything yourself, but you've got massage therapist as well that you're responsible for filling her sessions as well. So let's start with you, Zoe.
Well, I think it starts with making sure you choose the right people. Hire slowly, fire quickly is the adage. And I mean, I've got it wrong before. And then there's also when you do have those right people, and I mean, the type of people that become entrepreneurs and that go and drive business hard and everything are usually quite perfectionistic as well. And what you have to do is you have to be able to let go, and you have to be okay with 95% or 90%, because you know that you would polish every single little thing, but you can't keep doing that. When you start getting that busy, you have to actually let people do things. You have to hand it over. And so my rule is, as much as I love getting my hands dirty, I love getting in there and, you know, doing the graphics myself, doing the website myself. I mean, I'm capable of all that. I had a web business before, but I actually have to come up with the job and then give it to somebody else and let go of some of the things I love, but also on my perfectionism, and go, you know what, they're really close. And then, you may polish where you need to, but if you don't give it to them, they don't get to grow and they don't get to learn. And you go, if every single time they have a difficult customer service job, you just go, oh, it's okay, I'll call them and explain it. Now I have a whole thing. It's like, well, okay, you've got the question, I've given you the answer, have another go, and I'll take it over, or Michael will take it over after your two interactions. And so we actually systemize that, because otherwise they don't get to have that.
It's an opportunity to actually grow in that role, right?
That's it, and it's amazing when you do that, and when you let go, how quickly they step up. And how
well,
amazing they become.
Let's talk about culture as well, because I mean, like, I'll talk about you. I'll just stay with you first, and I'll just talk about culture quickly, and talk about investing back into your staff. Okay, because Michelle's in a different situation. So for myself personally, like, I've taken both my Filipino virtual assistants. I've done about 3 or 4 trips, and I've met them in the Philippines, and we've had like I call it a working bee. We have a working bee or working holiday. And it has been absolutely transformational for myself and for my team to having done that, once you've got the right people in the right seat. So talk about culture a little bit, and the responsibility of team, and how that's played out for you.
So I have 2 offshore professionals, and I hired them because they're really, really good at what they do, and I couldn't even find this service within Australia for the quality of their skill set. And the thing is, the more you put in and the more you believe in them, the more they bring back. And I know that we've gone and done we did a trip recently, Vietnam. One of our girls had only started, she was 2 months with us, and she was already coming on the trip to Vietnam, because I wanted to give them the opportunity to leave their country. That's something they'd never done. So they were quite nervous, but super excited, and also getting them to go beyond their comfort zone as well. And we had an amazing time, and I brought Michael up from Australia as well. So we all met there, and just showing that you believe in your team. I know everyone's like, oh no, they've got to prove it, and there's all the business things. Is like, you know, they get to this certain point, and then once they've achieved all these KPIs, then you give them you dangle the carrot to get them to prove all of that. Whereas I've found, if you come from a natural perspective of caring, if you've hired the right people, that all they want to do then is prove you right.
Yeah.
You say, I believe in you. I know that you're capable of all of this, and then they jump on just bending over backwards to try and prove you right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's so good. I mean, my VA Brian, who I've got now, I think he'd only been with me for a month, and it was his first flight ever, and I flew him from Cebu to Dumaguete to come and spend time with us, and he's just been invaluable, and he's just grown from strength to strength. But I find it really random how business owners, like, if they had an in-house person inside their team, they would see them every day. They might occasionally go to lunch with them. They might have these random chats or a laugh or a coffee. But as soon as you've got offshore staff, for some reason, business owners think that they must just be a machine in the background working.
Yeah, we're on Zoom all the time.
And not actually ever have connection. I mean, I spoke to a guy last week, and he does, he's a retirement accessory business. And he's like, I haven't spoken to my marketing VA in like 6 months. And I was like, you know, it's like,
does he know still alive?
I don't know, but you know, so look, at the end of the day, like, culture is important to both you and I, because we're all purpose-led business owners here. So I feel like that is a priority for us. But then we've noticed how the investment in them has been so good. So for Michelle, for you, it's a bit different. You still manage the admin, you still manage the marketing side of things, because, you know, single mom business, but you've got a massage therapist that you've got to provide, get clients for and make sure that she's filled. So
do you fill her before you're yourself? Yeah.
Generally, yes.
Yeah.
That's been the
Sort of
new
approach.
strategy.
That's the
Yeah.
strategy you would
Yeah.
need to do.
Well,
straight
yeah,
up.
for a
Yeah.
while there, I did close my book, so new people didn't book with me, so they only booked with her because I was really busy and I didn't want to do more massage anyway. I wanted to focus more on the naturopath and the fitness side of things. So now she's really busy and she does a lot more for me than just massage. She's pretty much my practice manager too. When I'm off doing things like this, you know, she does a lot of admin for me. She didn't really know much about admin. I've trained her a lot in that. I didn't really know how, you know, how skilled she was or what her experience was. When I met her, I just really vibed with her and I was like, I need her. And I hunted her down and I got her. And it's a funny story how I got Kate, but it's just, you know, when you've got that energy with someone and like you said, you're happy to invest in them. I didn't care if she was the worst massage therapist in the world. There was just something special about her that I knew that, you know, I could mold that or train that or, you know, there was just something about her that I needed.
You can teach skills, you can't teach personality.
100%.
And it's
You've got
paid
a
off
vibe.
tenfold because even though it has been difficult in some periods, especially with the economy over the last year or two, it's the best decision I've ever made. And when I brought her on full time, I honestly didn't know how I was going to pay her because I didn't have any clients for her, but I couldn't get clients for her unless she was there.
It's
So,
a catch-22.
yeah.
You know, a very close friend in business said to me when I was thinking about hiring someone that was going to cost, a lot, but she just, you know, I knew was capable, right human for the job, right? And I was just like, I need to stretch to make this happen. I just really feel like this person's going to do amazing things. And this friend said, oh, well, you know, once you actually have the capacity, the work comes.
Yeah.
It just does.
It just comes.
Yeah.
You've got the capacity, so you.
The universe gives you an
funny,
opportunity,
yeah,
and it's like, what are you
that's
going to do, man? You're going to let that person go, and you're just going to stay stuck or go backwards, or you're going to like launch
And it's
forward.
funny because I guess that comes to that mindset as well, and that lack mindset. And so for a long period of time, I did struggle, and you know, I didn't take home for my family what she was taking home for her family, because I wanted to keep her and keep her.
Yeah, you always pay everyone else
Oh,
before you
yeah.
pay yourself.
Yeah, so for a long time I haven't actually paid myself a proper wage. I've pulled
Yeah.
enough to pay the rent, whatever. But now it's all the hard work's all paying off. She's fully booked, you know, a week or two in advance. Now I'm looking at hiring another massage therapist.
There you go.
So, and I'm
Into
looking
that.
for. It's hard to find someone experienced. So if there's anyone experienced,
Central Coast.
but now I'm looking at a new grad. Someone that's just graduated because, you know, everyone needs experience. Everyone wants
Everyone
someone
has
with
to develop it.
experience.
Yeah.
And, you know, I started my business with absolutely no experience at all. I didn't work anywhere else. I graduated from my naturopathy studies and I just started working.
I love hiring grads. It's
Yeah.
fun. Or even undergrads.
Yeah.
Just give people an opportunity and be that
And you
person
can train
to
them
nurture
into
them.
how you want in your business too. And then hopefully next year, my goal for next year is to get a VA with Chantal's help. I think I'm really ready for that. And just trying to get systems in place, and so then I can step back.
Yeah, so let's talk about this because Michelle, this has been a big thing for you, right? Time management. Tell us about your relationship with time management.
Oh, it's a love-hate relationship. I feel like I'm one of the most organised people out there. Like I plan my life in 15-minute increments, but I'm also always chasing my tail. I'm so busy between work, my son, the personal life, my own health and fitness goals that I have. I don't stop, and then I'm always busy, but I don't have time to do a lot of things. So it's just trying to structure things and prioritize things and do those tasks that I don't really enjoy doing, but I still have to do. So working out how I can maximize my schedule and my time to put those in instead of procrastinating on those, and then the pile building up like this.
If it's something that you do more than once, you've got to teach somebody else.
Yeah, and that's
you're getting there. You're just at that precipice right now, right?
I'm a big fan of outsourcing as much as you like as possible. I don't mow my own lawns or anything like that because I'm too busy. I do enjoy it, but that's an hour or 2 hours I could be spending with my child or on my marketing.
Yeah, you snuck that in for extra good measure. I can say right now that both these ladies over here, and I'll put myself in that same category, all have high capacity. So you know how they say if you want something done, ask a busy person? If anybody was watching, actually I don't even have to say this because you guys all know me who are watching, and anybody who's watching Zoe and Michelle know them, will know that we squeeze the juice out of life. Like we get so much done compared to anyone else.
Life is worth living. It's so much fun. You just want to keep going, right?
So good. So we'll do like a little rapid fire thing here now, just in case the phone. Well, we've got to go get dressed for like an award.
We've got to go win an award.
I've got to go get some more wine as well. But so yeah, we're going to win awards. So keep watching for later on, and make sure that you jump on and like their pages.
With 7 entries, there's going to be at least one award.
Absolutely. I definitely bank on Chantal getting another one. She's the queen of all this.
So okay, rapid fire, because there's a couple of S words that I always use. So I'll get your opinion on it. Okay, so only one sentence, so we're not here all night. Although everyone will be loving to watch us later. One sentence. If I had to say skills.
What do you mean by that?
Skills in business. Skills. So if I say to you skills, talk about the importance of skills in business.
Business skills or the skills
Just
to do your job?
Skills in anything. You go for it.
Say the word skills and I've got to hand a sentence back.
Yeah, about skills in business. Like, what do you immediately think is the most important thing as inspiration for our audience with business? Like the importance of skills or how skills factors into
skills.
People skills, there we go.
Skills number one.
Okay.
I mean, all the other bits and pieces you can learn, whether you're technical or creative or hire the right people for those things. But if you can't do people, you can't do business.
Yeah, it's very important that you know how to do people.
Yeah, that's so true.
Michelle, skills.
Time management skills.
She messaged me last week and she was like, Chantal, I need you to like, what did you say? I need a wake-up call. Could you?
I need a I forget what I said.
Kick in the ass or something.
I'm procrastinating. I need you just to tell me what I need to do, even though I know what I need to do. I just need you to tell me.
Awesome. Okay, so the next one is strategy. Strategy. A rapid fire here. Ooh, I've trumped little Zoe.
Can I go?
Yes, go Michelle.
So having a strategy instead of just going with the flow. Yeah, I think it's really important to have, a strategy, whether it's a marketing strategy, business strategy, finance strategy, personal time management strategy instead of just, going with the flow is great, but
if you don't have a big picture vision, if you can't actually articulate to yourself or your team or even your customers where you see yourself headed, where you see your direction, you just keep going around in circles and nobody gets fulfilled with that.
Yeah, when you got something to focus on, you've got so much better direction.
It's like to be detailed.
If you know where you're going on holiday and if you know there's a whole bunch of places you really want to see, because I'm going to Bali and I've got I want to go horse riding, I want to go to this holy temple and swim there, and I want to go
want to get your food stolen from you by a monkey.
And I want to go, snorkeling, and I want to all these things, and you've got a limited time. But if I didn't actually have a plan, I'd get to Bali and I'd sit there, have cocktails. At the end of the holiday, I'd have a big bar bill, but I wouldn't have been able to achieve any of these things, right? So
that's a good example.
So it's a great example, and focus is really important, right? So next S word is support. The importance of support in business, and what type of support has been invaluable for you in business.
Yeah, well, even just in life, family and friends, as I mentioned before, if you don't have a support network around you, it's a lot harder when things go down. So you could go, oh yeah, I can do everything myself, be super independent, but that doesn't last forever. And so getting the right people around you and looking after them, supporting them, and the reciprocity from that is critical.
Yeah, and it's important to note that you get to choose who those people are. So like I always say, I've got my family and I've got my chosen family.
Yeah.
So shout out to Rachel, Fiona, Nadia, my chosen family. And and I think it's important to know because you are the sum of the people that you hang around. And for me, I always tell everyone I am so blessed. I can go anywhere in Australia and even internationally, and I just run into people, and they are my people, and they're amazing, and it's just awesome. And I get to do this now with these amazing ladies, and I'll say hello to Alison because she couldn't make it. So Alison, it would have been great if you come.
The more generous you are, the more it comes back to you as well. Like, you don't do it for that purpose, but you know, I'm always giving, and it never feels like it's ever a challenge to do. It's never really, it's just, I just love doing it, and then you know, people just show up out of the blue to support you when you wouldn't expect it to.
And for you,
definitely support is really important. I think that's one thing I haven't had a lot of, because I've been on my own. The only support I've had, which is amazing support, is my mum, and she has been amazing for me for everything for the last 13 years of having Malachi supporting me with that and with my business. But apart from her, I've had absolutely no one to hold me accountable, to pick me up when I'm fallen, to tell me, to ask me how I am. Just I can go days or weeks without someone really saying, how are you? Well, not so much anymore, but not having any support there is really hard, or having limited support. So finding you was probably one of the best things for me, because
actually we secured the deal at the last Alibi Awards. Actually, we drank and we went partying.
That's right, you did too. But I think really having you to support me, to hold me accountable, to to give me a wake up call, and to tell me I'm doing a good job, and to tell me I'm not doing a good job, I've got to do better.
We all need teachers, right?
I think that's been a really important thing for me, because I am fiercely independent, because I'm a single mum, I'm a business owner, I'm a sole trader. I don't have a business partner. I don't have a romantic partner. I don't have anyone to hold me accountable.
Except Chantal, right?
So she's everything. So support is a big thing, and I don't think I've progressed so much in the last 12 months, especially the last 6 months, and I do put a lot of it down to your support. So
I didn't pay her for that.
She didn't. A big shout out to Chantal when it comes to knowing what you need to do, and being brave enough to just kind of get in there and tell you. And the number of times she's made me go, oh, I don't want to do that. And she's just like, but you don't understand. You're doing it. You're doing it. And you will thank me later. And she's really great like that. And definitely, if you need a kick up the bum with your marketing, get Chantal on board for sure.
Yeah, thank you. So I always say, you've got to invest in yourself. If you've got goals, you've got to get the right people around you. You've got to invest in yourself. A lot of people don't want to invest. They go, when I make more money, I'll invest. That's ridiculous. Same with charity. When I make more money, I'll give to charity. Don't do that. So I think it's really important to note that you do. All coaches have coaches. I still, and maybe it comes from my triathlon background or my fitness background, but I've got an eating coach, and I've got a naturopath, and I've got coaches for everything. Because I want good people around me who can make me get there quicker. So it's really good to hear you advance so quickly in the last 6 months, having worked, with a coach. The second thing is that I want to point out is you don't need to be everybody's cup of tea, because you're possibly somebody's champagne. So it's really important to know, that's something I had to get comfortable with, because with the way that I am, I get that I'm not direct. Sorry, I'm direct.
We love it about it. We really do.
And it's not for everyone, right? And I also am a fast speaker, and I've got high capacity, and it is not everyone's cup of tea, and that's okay. But I will hang with the right people, my right vibe, my right tribe will come and be there, and that's amazing.
That's
absolutely big advice to you. That if you're trying to please everybody, just give it up now and just be yourself, and it's so much more fun.
Oh yes, and you will find your people. Yeah, when you try to fit like a star into like a square, it's just like a small square, and you're a big star. It's just not going to fit.
I mean, don't deliberately be a jerk, but
no one likes to.
Well, I've worked with maybe 3 or 4 coaches prior to you that just it cost me a fortune and it got me really nowhere. and you know, we can have 5 different conversations in the one conversation, and somehow we manage to accomplish all this stuff in an hour, and we'll go from one thing to the next and back to this thing and back to that thing. We both know exactly like what we're talking about and what conversation. It's amazing. And if there was someone else sitting in the room listening to how we talk and listening to how we play it,
conversation,
and thought, I think these people are bipolar. Who's these other people?
We already know what it is.
We know what we are. We're spicy neuro.
So it's so great to find someone that can bounce and resonate off that and gets it, because I do get very excited, especially when I get some good ideas, and you know, a high functioning person that has a lot going on. So it's good to have someone that I can spit out 5,000 things to, and you can decipher them all at once.
Okay, next S word, systems.
100%. Everything that
Advice.
you do.
Give advice for systems.
Okay,
how does that look?
All right, from a technical perspective, Google Docs, they're super easy. You can edit them in multiple locations. You can just create a file, a document for each thing, and you can create tabs in there. They're searchable because they're Google searchable.
So easy. Don't overcomplicate it.
So you do something, you teach somebody how to do it. You tell them to write it down so that then when they teach somebody how to do it, it's there. And if you also ask, and say, look, you know, when you're doing this, I'd really appreciate it if you actually had it beside you, so that every time you do it, or every third time, that you can have it open there, because I know you're going to learn this process and you're going to know it to the back of your head, but then things will change and you come back to something and you haven't looked at it for 6 months, and then none of your systems were even worth writing down. Because if you have them with you, you just make tweaks here and there, and it doesn't even really take any extra time. And then as you grow, more people come on board, and you can say, here, I've already got the manual and I'll show you how to do it, and it's right there in front of you. Screenshots are easy to do. 100% makes such a big difference.
Yeah, so many people don't have any systems in their business, and they keep doing the same thing again and again and again and again repetitively, rather than, you know, either automating that or systemizing it and creating those SOPs.
And I mean, they feel, when you first start teaching your staff how to do this, and they feel like, oh, well, I don't need to remind myself how to do stuff. I can learn how to do things. And there's this mindset shift that I keep talking about. I'm like, but the next person that we hire, you're going to need to train. And I want you to build now what you need to be able to train them. I can't train everybody myself. You're getting trained by me, and it's your responsibility to capture all of that and then and do the next
You
thing.
have to slow down to speed up.
Yeah, and when they realise that it's actually because it's going to help their systems later, and that they're going to get that responsibility, then it makes a big difference to the willingness and the desire to keep it up to date.
Cool. So then I'll go, Michelle, let's go success. What does success look and feel like for you?
Oh, this.
I love it.
No, well, for me, success is the impact, I guess, I have on people's lives, being a service, health-based business. Having people come to me and thank me and be genuine in their appreciation and say, you know, I've had people tell me that I've changed their lives, and if it wasn't for me, they wouldn't be here. If it wasn't for me, they wouldn't have the baby that they have. You know, like I could measure success by how much money I've got in the bank, or how many holidays I take or don't take in my case. But for me, it's not a financial thing. You know, success for me is the impact I have on people's lives, and the appreciation people have for the business that I've created and the space that I've created. And we get clients popping in sometimes and just bring cake, knife, flowers, just to say thanks for everything that we do for them. Or clients have, you know, dropped me in books or written little notes or left me little video messages. You know, it's all those little things to me that measures success. And as someone that has, like, for a long period of my life felt like I've suffered a lot with limiting beliefs of low self-worth, and not feeling good enough, and not feeling like I was a success because I didn't finish high school. You know, I'm a single mum. All these negative things that are actually pretty positive things. You know, to other people, it could be that it's not successful. So for me, I realised how successful I actually am now with what I've created and the impact that I have in people's lives. So.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I think success for me is I always want to go to bed happy every single night. That's really important for me, and I just want to make sure that I'm always playing. So I've always got a smile on my face, and everyone always laughs at me. In fact, I interviewed a photographer the other day, and he said always, you know, like smile for a headshot with your mouth shut and whatever. And I was like, You know, and I think success for me is just going to my deathbed smiling and just having squeezed the juice out of everything and just had amazing experiences with amazing people and just sharing my gifts with juice and glitter with the world, and you know, having them share their juice and glitter with me. And yeah, it's all very squishy.
And can I just add also, I guess another thing success for me would mean is, you know, having my son happy, healthy and proud of me, you know, raising a good quality human with, there's, you know, so, I don't know how to say this politically correct, so I won't say it, but, you know, there's a lot of young people now that aren't being raised with good values and, you know, in a loving home. So if I could raise a good quality human that's going to grow up being respectful and mindful and kind and courteous.
And have his own self-worth.
And have his own self-worth and know the meaning of hard work, then that's another success for me.
Awesome. So,
okay, ditto on the parenting, and also I think success for me is not about, it's never about how much you make, is it? It's always about the time you get, the free time that you get to have doing the things that you want to do, when you want to do it, how you want to do it, with who you want to be around.
Yes, true.
And just as we, you know, my driver is to build something. I love being creative, so the more creative I get to be while I am making practical products for people, you know.
stay in your zone of genius, you know, what brings you joy.
Like, it just brings you joy, whatever it is that brings you joy, and if you get to spend more time doing it, and whether that's while you're working or while you're not working, and I don't know.
I think that's
how do we
amazing.
have to define it?
So thank you so much for watching. I know it was a bit long and like blah blah blah, but
Yabba, let's wine next time.
I feel like whoever's watching is going to get something that they need from this, and that's why I said to all the girls, before you go and get glammed up, let's do a little panelist live. Could you, if you want to connect, in the comments below, I'll get the ladies just to put their personal names and their business pages as well in the comments below, so you can go follow them as well. And then you can see as well who wins what tonight, because that's important. And you'll obviously see all the images of us glammed up in our dresses and all of that.
Definitely following Chantal to find out who wins what, because Chantal just knows how to post things all the time. So when she's teaching us, but we're not, you know, when we're on, like, are we going to be following instructions tonight, Chantal?
I don't know what we're going to be doing.
I'm still trying to edit a video that she's done in like 3 seconds after I fly, and she's already posted it. I'm like, I still haven't even chopped it.
You just got to get quick.
All right. Thank you so
much for we'll put in the comments if you got anything valuable actually from this, put in the comments below and let us know, because it certainly will inspire other people in business as well. So thank you so much, guys.
All right.
See ya.
Have a great time. Good night.